Hallo, Michael Adams für Stock-Telegraph auf der PDAC natürlich immer noch 2017 und ich bin gerade auf dem Gang auf den Catalin gestoßen von Canarc und Canarc hat keinen Stand hier, aber deswegen war ich glücklich, dass ich auf dem Gang hier ihn getroffen habe und habe natürlich direkt die Möglichkeit genutzt, ihn hier zu einem Video-Interview zu verpflichten. Es gab ja auch vor kurzem interessante News und da möchte ich jetzt mit ihm drüber sprechen. So, thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and I'm lucky that I bumped into you at the floor. Yeah, because you just recently for Canarc you had some exciting news. Yeah, tell us about what you just announced.
Yeah, it's very exciting and nice to see you, Michael, here. Look, Canarc announced a few days ago that we are buying 12 projects in Nevada, 12 gold projects in Nevada for $2 million, and one project actually has about 1 million ounce resource, gold resource. And this is a fantastic deal. People cannot believe how good this deal is, and you can actually see it reflected in our last few days trading. People are starting to pay attention. People are starting to accumulate the stock. So, what are we buying here? It's basically a portfolio of 12 unique assets in Nevada. The biggest project of all of them has seen more than 600 holes and a lot of millions of dollars invested into it. The reason why we're getting it so cheap is that the projects have been privately owned and still are privately owned, and the principals of the company passed away last year, and the people that inherited now the company, you know, it's basically an estate, so they want cash, right? They just don't want to be involved in mining, so all they are worried about is to get some cash for their inheritance. So we are fortunate enough to be there at the right time. This project was actually under an option from another company, a small New Zealand company, which could not raise $2 million. And the reason why they could not raise the money is they were literally a shell company out of New Zealand. So, and they had the project tied up basically into a contract for about close to a year. So as soon as that option ran out, immediately following that we jumped onto a due diligence, very thorough due diligence on the project. So we were literally within 48 hours of signing a CA with them on site with experts on the project. Okay. We've already completed the due diligence, so we've signed off on it effectively. We have signed that basically a binding agreement with them with the $200,000 deposit, which was paid last Thursday. Okay. And we expect to close the deal before the end of this month. So we are really excited because really Canarc now shifts the focus from exclusively Canada, you know, which some investors like, some investors don't like so much, to Canada and Nevada. And Nevada, it's really, you know, the prime mining district you want to be in, you know, in the United States. So, and we do have a really good portfolio of projects there that we are planning to advance. So keep an eye on Canarc. I think, you know, we've shown the investors that we are committed to turn around the company. It's been 3 years right now since I joined the CEO, and Canarc, it's a completely transformed company today. You know, we are still sitting on more than $10 million cash. Even after this transaction completes, we'll still be sitting on about $8 million cash, and yet we've added so many projects, good projects in the portfolio.
Okay, yeah, that was a good overview, and you just mentioned the cash position. So what are the plans for the cash? Yeah, you have to put it to work. So are you going to put it into these new 12 projects? Are you still looking for other opportunities to consolidate? And also, yeah, all these 12 projects are purely gold, or
yes,
okay,
gold and silver. But it's about 90% gold, and there's some silver in those projects.
Okay, and it's tell us a little bit about the grades that you already have there, and yeah, what are you going to drill the hell out of the projects? Yeah, so give us some idea what you're going to do with the rest of the money.
Sure. So let me give a quick idea. As soon as we close this transaction, we'll be commissioning a 43-101 report on the big project in Nevada. Currently, the historical resource on the project is 400,000 ounces of measured indicated resource, about 6.5 grams per ton gold, and about 600,000 in inferred. So we want to reconfirm those resources in the 43-101 report. From there, we're going to come up with a very clear, detailed plan on the project, and we are expecting to invest money in that project to move it forward. So we'll be planning to do more drilling, and probably we'll be planning to do permitting and why not. So we should have a plan, very clear plan that will be announced hopefully within the next month or so, right, as soon as the transaction completes. Now, the question is really good. What are we going to do now with the $8 million? So the plan is that we keep looking for projects. We are not done yet, right? We've been able to buy this thing at a very low price.
But you're not limited to the United States. So
no, we are still looking to other things. I was in Mexico, as a matter of fact, about 3 weeks ago for a week. We are still looking at projects there. So the search has not stopped. It's just that we really found this really fantastic opportunity that we got it, but we're still looking, right? And then the other thing to keep in mind, we're not just buying and holding those assets, right? We are not a mineral bank like other companies are, right? We really actually are committed to advance them forward.
But you had some good success in being kind of a mineral bank for some of the projects.
Absolutely.
Bought and sold for a way higher price to other
Correct, right? But we're doing a little bit of both, right? We are buying projects, so we have a good portfolio, but we're also spending money on them to make them bigger and better, basically, right? And that's how we've made, $10 million with selling the project in Mexico, because we got it for $1 million. We've invested another $1 million into it, and suddenly we had a really good project that's what's worth $10 million, right? And we cashed on that. But so expect us to see, create even more value out of the current acquisition, and expect us to see, possibly buying more things in the near future. I actually welcome this slump in gold price, because it allows us not only to do this deal right now, but hopefully do a few more.
And the good thing about Canarc is that, and sometimes I have to admit, I was a little bit, especially like 2-3 years ago when we talked first, I was a little bit, not skeptical, but confused, by, okay, you did due diligence there, it didn't come together, the next deal, and now I think that you have a strategy in place, and always keep in mind, as Catalin said, they could be, part of their business can be being a mineral bank, like identifying undervalued projects, buy them, develop them to a certain stage with the funding they have in place, and then sell them for a high return for the company, but also the shareholders. But also keep in mind, with the team you have, you can bring the projects into production. Some companies can't do that, but you have bread on your, so you can, with the same team, bring them also into production. Okay, final words are yours.
So I think final words is to investors, I think Canarc is a name that you should look into. If you compare our valuation today with any other company in the sector, I think you'll have it as a compelling company. So encourage you to do your homework and maybe add it to your portfolio if you think it's a good idea.
Ja, also das war Canarc, wie ich auch gerade schon am Englischen gesagt hatte. Ich war zwischendurch, ich hatte die Canarc ja schon, glaube ich, mal vor 3 Jahren vorgestellt. Wir haben da auch ganz gut Profit zwischendurch mit eingefahren. Ich war aber immer so ein bisschen skeptisch, weil halt Sachen announced wurden, also veröffentlicht wurden, die dann aus gutem Grund, weil halt die Due Diligence nicht das ergeben hat, was man sich gehofft hatte, halt wieder eingestampft wurden. Und das kam halt am Anfang wirklich ein paar Mal vor, sodass ich selber, muss ich ehrlicherweise, so ein bisschen frustriert war. Man hat aber dann auch gezeigt, dass man dass diese Due Diligence, dieser Prozess halt zwar teilweise dann darin resultiert, dass man Projekte wieder verwirft, aber im Endeffekt ist das natürlich für den Investor besser, als wenn man einfach jedes Projekt dann kauft. Und Canarc hat gezeigt, dass man gute Projekte identifiziert hat, die dann gekauft hat jetzt ja auch vor kurzem erst dann Projekte verkauft, also so ungefähr dieses Mineral Bank Modell, aber auf der anderen Seite hat man auch insbesondere mit dem Bradford Cook, hat man halt jemanden, der auch mit Produktionserfahrung hat. Also Canarc hat quasi beide Seiten offen. Man kann ein Projekt identifizieren, ein gutes Projekt identifizieren mit dem Team, kann es weiterentwickeln und dann verkaufen oder es dann auch in Produktion bringen. Und Cash hat man auch aktuell noch 8 Millionen. Man sucht auch nach weiteren Projekten und ich muss mir das alles nochmal zu Hause in Ruhe anschauen, aber es könnte sein, dass wir da mit Canarc auf dem jetzigen Niveau dann, wenn man dort einsteigt, auch vielleicht doch noch ein ganz gutes Schnäppchen macht und in 2017 und danach dann noch profitiert. In diesem Sinne, vielen Dank von der PDAC, ihr Michael Adams.